And you know, the work on it was so hard. One of the guys on this shoot got pretty mad at me because he would get high every time we would shoot. And you know, I don't mind if you smoke, I don't mind if you drink, just don't do it at work, right? That's a pretty reasonable thing to say. I don't think I'm getting too extreme with that line of thinking. And you know, I was preparing a schedule, right? And as I was preparing the schedule, he thought I wasn't working. So he got high because he was so frustrated with me that he didn't want to hit me. He said he needed to get high or he would have hurt me, which is a great thing to say to somebody that you're working with. He was like baked out of his mind. Like, guys, he was like, his eyes were squinted, and when he would open them up, they were like two red apples, okay? That's how high he was. And I asked if he was sober enough to handle my equipment, which is expensive. You know, I worked hard for my equipment. I don't want somebody to be high with it and then break it. I'd ended up giving it to him, but he was super high, and he was like offended that I questioned his capabilities while high. You shouldn't drive a car while high. Maybe don't work around like $1,000 equipment while you're high. I don't know, right? And on a film set, there's like hot lights and exposed electrical equipment. So if you want to die, that's a great place to do that, right? You know, I understand that we have pretty great workplace safety in the film industry, aside from the, you know, the time when Alec Baldwin shot somebody. But generally speaking, it's a pretty safe area, but you should be sober. You should be aware that there's stuff that can kill you, right? That's reasonable. They didn't start editing the film until 24 hours before it was due. I would routinely try and schedule meetings for this. And what would happen is that, you know, people would just not show up to meetings. So I would commute to college. It would be about a 30-40 minute drive. I would commute. I'd sit down for a meeting. Nobody would show up because they had been out partying. Yeah, so I would show up to meetings. Nobody'd ever show up. One day I tried organizing a shoot, and because I wasn't there, because I had went to PAX, nobody showed up to the meeting. I got on the phone and I tried to organize the meeting. I had to give them some of my equipment to edit this film, and they were out drinking. So, because it was Cinco de Mayo, and so like my hard drive that I edit off of sometimes, right, is like fucking covered in like tequila sweat now. It's like fucking disgusting. And that night that they were partying, that they were supposed to be editing, right? They one of the guys had messaged me because he had done a line of coke. And he had been trying to tell me that he didn't have something, but he did. He just didn't know what he was doing, right? But it's like, if you tell me you're editing, and then I go to you the next day to go pick up and help you or whatever, maybe don't talk about how you did a line of coke. But yeah, it's creative projects during the pandemic. I don't know why, but just like college students don't understand the concept of like work. But here it is. Here it is. We're gonna watch it. This is the first time I'm seeing it. I haven't been able to sit through it myself. I'm not looking forward to it, and if I might cringe at this more than you. Oh my god, a jump cut already? Jesus. Oh my god, why would you keep that in? That tiki torch wouldn't light up, as you could see. So instead of cutting that part out, which, you know, a reasonable person would, it's in there. And also, part of one of the things you don't do, this is something you do with YouTube videos, and you don't do it with movies, is a jump cut. Because the camera angle doesn't change enough for it to be a reasonable, like, see what I mean? It's not a reasonable amount of change. It's not enough, so it just looks very jarring, right? You would never want to do this when you're making something. And also, by the way, if you guys that I worked with ever see this, just realize that I worked on it too, so I'm allowed to critique my own work. No! No! What are you doing? Putting video toaster ass transitions. Oh my lord. Guys, this has been a minute of nothing. Why would you do this? Why? This better have been cut from the version we sent to the professor. Oh my lord. So I'll explain what she just did to herself right here, right? But, you know, basically she had to put that stuff on her face and she had one take to do it and she knocked it out of the park. She's actually a really good actor. This is nothing against our actress. She did a very good job with what she was given. And I'd work with her again. I really enjoyed working with her. I have to wonder, do they expect to actually have a career in anything, creative field or otherwise, if they're not going to do the work? I've often wondered what happens, like, when you're, like, a creative and you're trying to work in a creative field and then you, like, don't work. I've followed, so I ended up staying extra at this school because I struggled with focusing on school, because I'd much rather be doing this. And, you know, some of the people I knew graduated, and I'm, like, wondering, like, oh, are they working in film? This one guy went into our film program because programming was too hard for him. His words exactly. He does not work in the field anymore. Not at all.
Hi, I'm Nora.
Could you just put the cat down a little bit?
Hi, my name's Nora. A little about me. Okay, I'm from America. I'm a textbook Gemini, and my favorite album is Donda 2. And I recently found out that I'm totes in love with the devil. And let me tell you, it's been one hell of a time.
But basically, the gist of it is that Nora here is, like, indoctrinated into paganism through the internet. However, that is not communicated well. But this is, like, supposed to be a mockumentary, right? It's a mockumentary about Nora becoming in love with the devil.
Girl that everyone picks on to make fun of.
Why is this coming through the right-hand side of my ear? They fucked up this audio.
But in, like, and I know you're just joking kind of way, you know? Well, sometimes it's hard because they don't always invite me to everything.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry. This is like I've created like, I feel like I was a part of the creation of the room. Guys, like, I remember making a tweet a long time ago where I said, I hope I never wake up one day and find out I'm Doug Walker. I don't want to wake up one day and find out I'm Doug Walker. But I'm feeling like I'm waking up to find out I'm Doug Walker. I should also say I did not edit this. I did not edit this at all. I did not edit this. So just, yeah.
I just wish they'd let me in on the jokes sometimes, you know?
You know, I didn't participate in writing anything on the script, but the thing about the sandwich was a lot funnier in pre-production as well. But I'll make sure to tell everybody. I should mention this was a comedy, and that when I showed this to people, they're like, "It's a comedy." That's like one of the worst things that could happen, is if you tell people it's a comedy and they don't know it's a comedy.
Hey, Satan sisters. As many of you may know, I recently became a level 5 she-god Wiccan. And when I say Satan...
Oh, no. All right, chat, make sure you all pull out your desk side sandwiches. We picked that up from the gas station. Made this poor girl eat that. Sorry.
Individual discovery. And lastly, attaining legendary social media status. And I have a really big announcement for you guys. This has been coming for a while, but I haven't been able to talk about it. I have merch. Check it
We needed somebody to take like hold of this project and just kind of run with it as like a creative lead. We kind of ran it like a commune, and film sets need to be authoritarian to get anything done. We need one guy at the top who's in charge of everything, and everybody else falls into line beneath it. It can't be everybody has equal standing.
Check it out on jjudas.com, and the promo code is 42069.
And just like that, I was hooked.
No, I hate these fucking transitions, dude. So we shot that scene. That character's name is Jay Judas. We shot that scene after a 40-minute break. Guess what happened before that break? Everybody smoked weed. I didn't smoke weed. I don't smoke. It makes me really anxious. I can't do it, right? I hope we get a star wipe. Fuck you. Oh my god, right? But after everybody had smoked, they're like, this is funny. Let's go with this.
Dad. Dear Book of Shadows, I ask to end my wretched plight. For this I go into the night.
She's trying. She's trying so hard, dude. Oh my gosh. Also, don't make a short film like 90% narration. Don't do it. Don't do it. I know this one does, but don't do it.
Dear Satan Claus, I wish that those who once spat upon my family name feel the burning desire to kiss my butt. I wish that Al Gore beat Bush, or better yet, Kanye, dropped out of college sooner, to run for president and beat them both.
What? Is there smoke coming down the stairs? Are you burning things? Do I have to come up there?
Everything's fine, Mom. You're just interrupting my quiet time.
I like how she just closes the door so patiently. The mood is like, what? Mom, why are you interrupting my quiet time?
I can tell I have this potential other girls my age don't have. I'm not like other girls. I was put on this earth to subjugate them.
Why did they leave that in? This is so bad. Why? Why would you leave that in? No. Oh my god. No. I wonder if you actually see the camera guy in this. Who's that? Who's that? We got a camera guy right there. We got a camera guy in the window right there.
Uber for NORAD?
Yes, sir, that's me.
Alright. Now it says on the Apparino here that you're going to 666 Main Street, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Well, I don't know. That ain't the most child-friendly place and all. You sure you're gonna be okay there?
No, sir. 666 Main Street is correct. I'll be fine. I've got my crew with me.
What is this? Are you
Oh
filming
my
some
god.
sort of, quirky mockumentary?
Oh my god.
No?
Oh, I would have cut that line. Oh, Jesus. There's a lot of very strange cuts in this. Undisclosed location. Yeah, because it's the fucking college. Why do we students always think self-awareness equals funny? Chico, you gotta understand that I told them it wasn't funny and they kept it in anyway. That whole like zooming, those like smash zooms or like those like, oh, I'm copying the Office zooms. I do not approve of those. I did not shoot those. I'm like trying to like critique my work, but then also trying to say, just so you know, that one wasn't me.
Well, hello, young miss. Can I help you?
The new Fantastic Beast movie looks great.
Become a scintologist.
Oh, you mean a scatologist? Yes, they're actually just down the street at 669 Main Street. So have a very...
The fact that there's 269 jokes in this are very painful. That's a very painful thing to experience.
To be honest, we really only dress like this for Dungeons and Dragons night, which happens to be tonight. So, nice getup. Wait! Nora! Wait! Nora! Wait!
They copied his audio. Oh my lord. Oh no.
Nora, kid, listen. I'm sorry that I hurt your feelings. Finding out who you are doesn't happen overnight.
They ADR'd that. They ADR'd that. What the fuck? He's like in a bathroom or a closet. I don't know if you can hear that. I have the sound up all the way, but
Overwhelming and shitty as it is to grow up, it happens whether you like it or not.
what is that? What was the rose for? What was that? What is it? Fucking Citizen Kane? Oh man, that's a rough one. That's a rough one. That was rough. That was the longest 14 minutes of my life, guys. I gotta be real with you. All right. I don't even know where to start with that. I'm sure everyone else has a lot of opinions on it. Are you okay, Diesel? Do you need therapy for the trauma of being forced to work on that? I'm not like... I don't know. I just wish everything that happened differently. You know what I mean? Like, it kind of just didn't work out how I wanted it to. I respect that you don't shit on the people who worked with you, though. I mean, I'm not shitting on anybody by name, but I think me saying that you shouldn't get high on set, or you shouldn't say that the only reason you didn't assault me is because you were high on set, you know, like, that's a pretty insane thing to say, you know what I mean? Which is a thing that actually happened, so I'm like... Yeah, I think what I said is fair, but I could definitely see the people I worked with being offended that I even took the time out of my day to say this about the project. But, you know, you gotta be, like, really honest with yourself with, like, creative work that you do, especially when it comes to a film or, like, working on a short film or an indie project. If you're, like, working on something, you gotta be like, okay, that's not good. Like, you need to have the self-awareness to realize when something is a fucking problem. Like, a lot of those edits, you should just be able, as a film student, you should be able to look at them and go, that's not a good idea. I shouldn't keep doing that, you know. I don't know. I just see the nostalgia critic in the movie. It is by far, though, I can say without a shadow of a doubt, guys, this was the most unhinged production I've ever worked on. I've never worked on something more dysfunctional in my career. It really was that intense. Let's see, there was a guy who would constantly add to the scope of the project wherever he felt like, you know, like inspiration would strike him and he would just add certain stuff to it. He would also help facilitate partying. So I also work with like a lot of non-for-profits and stuff like that. Just by the nature of my work, right? I didn't shoot all of this, but I was first AC on this project, which means first assistant camera. They just published this like a month ago, and I had been waiting forever because I wanted to add it to my reel. But basically, this is a non-for-profit that like delivers food to people in need, basically, healthy foods, all that kind of stuff. Veggies, culturally relevant veggies to the community, yada yada, all that jazz. I'm not gonna play all of it. It's 18 minutes, and it's like a walkthrough to kind of explain what they do. And it's aimed at like younger kids, so it's just them like explaining.
This is gonna be our harvest for the day. So friends, harvest means when you are picking something you're harvesting, or it can be what you picked that day. And we also have another way we get food to the community here, which we call community harvest.
So yeah, so that was an 8-9 hour day of me standing in the grass. I'll show you a music video I worked on. It was kind of like a live studio recording kind of deal, but it was kind of sick. So, but these are like real hippie hipster type people. I was up in Woodstock for this, like the Woodstock. So it was really fucking cool. Lots of hippie stuff there. I actually met a fan up there when I did a race there one time. So, you know, that was cool too. But yeah, it was 3 of us. So just so everybody's aware, after watching that horrible short film, I am a professional. I do know what I'm doing. This is something I did entirely on my own. This was a lot of work as well. It's always a lot of work. It's like 8-hour days doing this stuff. So if I'm ever like not streaming or something, it usually means I'm on set.
Should be easy. Why should it not?
This was also filmed during the pandemic. And she's a hairs colorist. It's kind of old. I need to update some of the stuff in this.
Always think of you when spring comes. Like
And this is like a combination of many of the projects I've worked on.
Don't know why. Always dream of you when spring comes. It's like the heat on my skin takes me back to the time met you on a Friday.
I fucking love this shot. When I got this shot, I was like, wow. I'm a pro gamer right here. This was awesome. When I went to shoot this.
Halfway out and I was young, couldn't see that. Leather jacket,
So that's a separate farm tour from the thing that I filmed. That was like a huge public event. They had live live translators there. So these guys were like translating into Spanish. Everybody there spoke English, but I think they were just doing it to be like, we're diverse. But you know, like that was really cool to just see how a live translator worked, and we had to make sure our equipment wouldn't interfere with theirs. It's pretty neat to see. I've known you spoke about what you do outside of YouTube, but this is my first time actually seeing it. This is my first time showing it. I just hadn't shown it for a while, mainly because I just didn't feel like I was good enough. But by now, I think I'm okay that I can at least show my work. To get that shot, I put a GoPro inside an AeroPress cup and then pushed down on top of the coffee. But yeah, but yeah. And that is my reel from 2021. Those are all projects I did last year, so that's just in this one year. Anyway, the point of all this to say is that I'm probably going to apply to grad school because I don't make that much money from the channel. Just because I want more experience, and I didn't get any of that at my current college. But yeah.